Day 23 in the month of October. Reading from the book of Proverbs chapter 23 verse 1 to 35. New Living Translation. Caution at the table of a ruler. While dining with a ruler, pay attention to what is put before you. If you are a big eater, put a knife to your throat. Don't desire all the delicacies, for he might be trying to trick you. When in the presence of powerful or influential people, it's essential to maintain self-control. The imagery of putting a knife to your throat is a strong warning against overindulgence and greed. This passage teaches us to exercise caution and avoid being easily enticed by luxury or material wealth, as there may be hidden motives behind the generosity. Imagine attending a lavish banquet hosted by a CEO or politician. It's easy to be impressed by the extravagance, but this could lead to making hasty decisions or feeling obligated to reciprocate favors. Just like the ruler in this verse, such situations may involve manipulation. Staying aware and disciplined prevents you from falling into traps where your values or integrity might be compromised. Proverbs 23 verses 4 to 5. The futility of chasing wealth. Don't wear yourself out trying to get rich. Be wise enough to know when to quit. In the blink of an eye, wealth disappears, for it will sprout wings and fly away like an eagle. This passage encourages us not to be consumed by the pursuit of wealth. While money is necessary, it can be fleeting. Wisdom lies in understanding that riches can vanish just as quickly as they appear. So our life should not revolve solely around acquiring wealth. Think of someone working long hours at the expense of their health, family, or peace of mind. While they may accumulate wealth, they might lose valuable relationships or their health in the process. A stock market crash or a failed investment can also illustrate how wealth can sprout wings and disappear. Proverbs 23 verses 6 to 8. Avoid stingy people's food. Don't eat with people who are stingy. Don't desire their delicacies. They are always thinking about how much it costs. Eat and drink, they say, but they don't mean it. You will throw up what little you've eaten, and your compliments will be wasted. Be cautious when accepting the hospitality of stingy or selfish individuals. Their generosity may be insincere, and though they offer food, they do so begrudgingly. This can create an uncomfortable atmosphere, leaving you with regret. Imagine a friend inviting you over for dinner, but you notice they are constantly commenting on how expensive everything is or making you feel guilty for eating. While the food may look good, you leave feeling more burdened than blessed. It's better to surround yourself with genuine, generous people who give with a sincere heart. Proverbs 23 verse 9. Don't waste your breath on fools. Don't waste your breath on fools, for they will despise the wisest advice. It's often pointless to give advice to people who are not ready to listen. Fools reject wisdom, no matter how sound it may be. This verse reminds us that our time and energy are valuable, and we should not waste them on those unwilling to hear truth. Think of offering advice to someone who repeatedly makes poor decisions, but never takes responsibility. No matter how well you explain things, they remain defensive or dismissive. Sometimes, stepping back is the best course of action. Proverbs 23 verses 10 to 11. Don't cheat others. Don't cheat your neighbor by moving the ancient boundary markers. Don't take the land of defenseless orphans, for their Redeemer is strong. He himself will bring their charges against you. This passage refers to the act of unjustly seizing land or possessions from the vulnerable, such as orphans or those unable to defend themselves. God is portrayed as the defender of the weak, ensuring that justice is ultimately served. In today's context, this could be a warning against taking advantage of others in business or personal relationships. For instance, a landlord unfairly raising rent or exploiting someone in financial distress may seem to get ahead momentarily, but God is a just judge who watches over the oppressed. Proverbs 23 verse 12. Commit yourself to learning. Commit yourself to instruction. Listen carefully to words of knowledge. Lifelong learning and openness to wisdom are essential for growth. We should actively seek knowledge and be teachable, not assuming we already know everything. Imagine someone constantly reading books, attending seminars, or seeking mentorship to grow in their field. Their willingness to learn makes them successful in the long run, while others who resist growth might stagnate. Proverbs 23 verses 13 to 14. Disciplining children. Don't fail to discipline your children. The rod of punishment won't kill them. Physical discipline may well save them from death. Discipline is an important part of raising children. While this passage refers to physical punishment, the broader principle is about correcting children, so they grow up with a sense of responsibility and respect for authority. Parents who lovingly correct their children when they misbehave, whether through timeouts, taking away privileges, or explaining consequences, are helping their kids develop into responsible adults. Without discipline, children may grow up without boundaries, leading to destructive behavior later in life. Proverbs 23 verses 15 to 16. Joy in a wise child. My child, if your heart is wise, my own heart will rejoice. Everything in me will celebrate when you speak what is right. There is great joy for a parent when their child makes wise decisions and lives with integrity. A wise child brings delight to the family. Parents watching their grown children make good choices, whether in career, relationships, or moral decisions, feel immense pride and joy. Seeing your child succeed by doing what is right brings fulfillment beyond material success. Proverbs 23 verses 17 to 18. Don't envy sinners, fear the Lord. Don't envy sinners, but always continue to fear the Lord. You will be rewarded for this. Your hope will not be disappointed. It's tempting to envy those who seem to prosper through dishonesty or sinful behavior. However, we are reminded here to focus on our relationship with God, trusting in His justice and timing. True hope lies in fearing, respecting and revering the Lord, which brings eternal reward. Imagine seeing someone cut corners at work and quickly rise in their career. It's easy to feel frustrated or envious, but God asks us to stay faithful to what is right. In the long run, integrity and devotion to God lead to lasting peace and blessing, while shortcuts often lead to eventual downfall. Proverbs 23 verses 19 to 21. Avoid drunkenness and gluttony. My child, listen and be wise. Keep your heart on the right course. Do not carouse with drunkards or feast with gluttons, for they are on their way to poverty, and too much sleep clothes them in rags. This passage warns against falling into the lifestyle of excessive drinking and overeating. These indulgent habits lead to poverty and ruin, both physically and financially. The idea here is to live a life of moderation and discipline, keeping our hearts focused on wisdom. Imagine a person who regularly parties, overindulges in alcohol, and neglects responsibilities. Over time, they may find themselves struggling financially, with poor health and facing broken relationships. This verse encourages us to avoid that path and maintain self-control in all aspects of life. Proverbs 23 verses 22 to 23. Value parental guidance and wisdom. Listen to your father, who gave you life, and don't despise your mother when she is old. Get the truth and never sell it. Also get wisdom, discipline, and good judgment. Honoring and respecting our parents, especially as they age, is a key theme here. The passage also emphasizes the lifelong pursuit of truth, wisdom, and discipline, things that are more valuable than material wealth. Think of adult children who care for their elderly parents, honoring the wisdom passed down to them. Likewise, a person who values education, seeks wisdom, and makes sound judgments will lead a fulfilling life. The idea is to cherish wisdom as something you hold on to and never give up, even as you grow older. Proverbs 23 verses 24 to 25. The joy of raising wise children. The father of godly children has cause for joy. What a pleasure to have children who are wise. So give your father and mother joy. May she who gave you birth be happy. These verses continue. The theme of the joy parents feel when their children live wisely. A godly child brings honor and happiness to their family, especially to the parents who raise them. It's a call for children to live in such a way that brings joy to those who nurtured them. Picture a parent watching their grown child making wise decisions, being kind, responsible, and living with integrity. This fills the parent's heart with pride and happiness. For children, it's a reminder that living well honors not only God, but also the family that raised them. Proverbs 23 verses 26 to 28. Avoid immorality. O my son, give me your heart. May your eyes take delight in following my ways. A prostitute is a dangerous trap. A promiscuous woman is as dangerous as falling into a narrow well. She hides and waits like a robber, eager to make more men unfaithful. This is a clear warning against the dangers of sexual immorality, especially adultery or engaging with promiscuity. The imagery of a narrow well and a robber portrays the destructive consequences of these actions. Sexual sin leads to spiritual and relational ruin. Think of a person who falls into an affair, believing it will bring excitement or satisfaction. In reality, it often leads to broken families, damaged reputations, and deep personal regret. God's wisdom calls us to pursue purity and faithfulness in our relationships, protecting us from the emotional and spiritual dangers that come with infidelity. Proverbs 23 verses 29 to 35. The consequences of drunkenness. Who is anguish? Who is sorrow? Who is always fighting? Who is always complaining? Who is unnecessary bruises? Who is bloodshot eyes? It is the one who spends long hours in the taverns, trying out new drinks. Don't gaze at the wine, seeing how red it is, how it sparkles in the cup, how smoothly it goes down. For in the end it bites like a poisonous snake. It stings like a viper. You will see hallucinations, and you will say crazy things. You will stagger like a sailor tossed at sea, clinging to a swaying mast. And you will say, they hit me, but I didn't feel it. I didn't even know it when they beat me up. When will I wake up so I can look for another drink? These verses describe the painful consequences of alcoholism. Drinking excessively leads to sorrow, physical harm, confusion, and regret. The passage paints a vivid picture of the deceptive allure of alcohol, which seems harmless at first but ultimately causes great harm. Think of someone who spends their nights drinking excessively. While they may feel temporary relief or fun, they wake up with a hangover, regret their actions, and may even face fights or accidents they don't remember. Alcohol addiction ruins relationships, careers, and health, leaving people in a cycle of despair. The passage warns us not to be lured by its initial appeal because the aftermath can be devastating. Key takeaways from Proverbs 23. Self-control and awareness in social situations. ***. Whether dining with powerful people or resisting the lure of wealth and indulgence, wisdom teaches us to exercise restraint and awareness. The fleeting nature of wealth, rather than wearing ourselves out to become rich. We should seek the lasting value of wisdom and integrity, knowing that material wealth can quickly disappear. The danger of indulgence, overeating, drinking, and a lack of discipline lead to poverty and ruin. Wisdom calls us to moderation and self-discipline in all aspects of life. The importance of honoring parents. Listening to and respecting the guidance of our parents brings joy and blessing to both children and parents, especially when it aligns with God's wisdom. The destructive power of immorality. Engaging in sexual immorality and promiscuity leads to relational and spiritual ruin. Pursuing purity and faithfulness brings peace and protection. The consequences of drunkenness. Alcohol can be deceptive, appearing pleasurable at first but bringing sorrow, pain, and regret in the long run. Application in everyday life. Seek wisdom over wealth, prioritize wisdom, integrity, and self-discipline over the pursuit of material riches or indulgent pleasures. Moderation, whether in food, drink, or material pursuits. Practice moderation and self-control to avoid destructive habits. Honor family relationships. Show respect to parents and take joy in raising children who walk in wisdom. Strong family relationships are a source of deep joy. Avoid dangerous temptations, be mindful of the lure of immorality or addiction, knowing the deep pain they bring. Guard your heart and live with integrity. May the good Lord bless His word in our hearts and help us to be doers of His word. In Jesus' mighty name, Amen. Kindly subscribe and turn on post notification for more prayers and Bible reading. God bless you.